Welcome. My name is Dennise Williams, and I am joined by Elizabeth Terry. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Dennise.
We are coaches. Now, I am a financial coach, and Liz, you are a.
NLP and PQ coach.
All right. Now, you're going to learn about financial coaching, NLP coaching, and PQ coaching, and how it's going to help you to become your own cash flow superhero. Because we're going to take you on a journey how to move from self sabotage to money sage. And a lot of people's like, what is financial coaching and self sabotage and all of this have to do with each other? Well, join us on this journey, and we're going to help you to become your own superhero because money, mindset, who you think about who you are, how you think about what you do, is all related. And I am so excited to be on this journey with you, Liz. Now, my name is Dennise Williams, as I already said, and I help female entrepreneurs to increase their cash flow in order to pay for their dream lifestyle. Now, how do I help them to increase their cash flow? Well, there's so many ways. And we are going to explore a lot of the ways to increase your cash flow and how it's tied to your mindset. So, in this training series, it'll be a deep dive into a little of both. And we hope at the end of a series, you will feel so empowered. Now, I'm a mom of two boys, and one has special needs. And I can tell you, mindset is so critical because, as any special needs mommy will tell you, it's not a cheap lifestyle. And you do need to be in charge of your finances in order to maximize the value, the quality of life of both children, and make a plan for your future as well as your children's future. So very important. Liz, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm so happy to be on this journey with you, Dennise, and to help all of the wonderful people who are going to be listening in to this program to change their mindset. As an NLP and PQ coach, what I have learned is that mindset is the beginning point of all change. Often we are focused on everything that's going on outside of us. And the weather, the pandemic, the business market, the stock market. I mean, all of these things that are impacting us, but we really, really have to focus first and foremost on what's going on inside. So I'm here to help you with that aspect of this program.
Thank you so much, Liz. And of course, this is not our first time together. We have years of video content, Liz, on the Financially Focused channel. So if you want to check out some of our previous work, please, you are welcome to Google us. Now, Liz, you want to just take us through the agenda for this unit?
Sure. So this very first unit begins with who are you being? And so we want to talk about, first of all, who are you being with your cash flow? And I know Dennise is very excited to be talking about that. And then I'm going to introduce to you NLP, otherwise known as Neuro Linguistic Programming, and to share with you two key principles. The first, I am cause to my effect. And the second, clarity of vision and focus act like magnets. So vision drives outcomes and values drive behavior. So we're going to also be touching on that topic and helping you to discover your prosperity values.
Wow, I love that. I absolutely love that. Now, as entrepreneurs, and maybe you're even an entrepreneur, meaning you are in corporate life and you are also expected to deliver. You're expected to be a part of the team, you're expected to lift. So whether you work for yourself or you work for, an organization, you are supposed to be open and ready. Okay? However, a lot of the clients that I have spent years focusing on everybody else except them. Okay. And it has an impact on their cash flow. It has an impact on how their money grows? Are you shrinking your dreams because your cash flow isn't matching your dreams? Are you under stress? A lot of my clients suffer from high blood pressure because of stress. And what we propose is that there is a pathway to grow your net worth and to grow your cash flow without terrible stress and strain, because I will give you the practical framework and Liz is going to give you the inner framework, because that's where you will see the growth first, and then it, as she said, it magnetizes the rest. Now, net worth in the world of financial coaching either happens when you are adding assets, increasing your cash flow, or decreasing your debt. Okay, and in those three ways I help my clients. And so Liz, on the other hand, helps her clients with the being. And so us coming together gives you the best of both worlds, because we're going to explore who you're being. This will then be a mirror, because if you can understand what's happening on the inside, you can understand what's happening on the outside. Okay. Now we do have a bonus for you, right? WizeFi personal finance software. You will have 30 days free access. Now, Liz, I don't know if in mindset training, why 30 days is such an important thing, but it is, because repetition, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And so I just
Yes.
wanted to give you guys just a quick. So you will get the link in our training, and this is what you'll see. You will put in your information. Of course, I am already in. So you see financially focused. You log in. And as we go through this training, you're going to see how you can create your own financial freedom plan. And, Liz, we talk about money not being everything, cash flow not being everything. But I just want to encourage everyone that having some control over your money, having understanding of your mindset and your money is important. And in addition to the free 30-day bonus you're getting, once you sign up, and of course, this is loading and showing a black screen, so that's not good. The technology is behaving itself. Here it is. You will get my personal coaching ID. And once you put this ID in, I will be able to see your progress. And in this training and future, you can reach out to me and I can give you some support. Okay. So we are fully supporting you in this training and even after. So, one of the first things we're going to ask you to do is to list your assets to determine where your cash went. One of the things that happens is when we say who you are being with your cash flow, we can just look at your credit card. We can just look at your investment account. We can look at your bank statement, even if everything's electronic, and we can see what's important to you. Okay. I had a client that spent more than $20,000 on KFC, Burger King, and various other fast food places over a 2-year period. And she wasn't aware of it. She's so stressed out over the pandemic. She didn't have kids, and so she wasn't cooking. And she would tell you, "Oh gosh, I don't spend money on food. I don't really cook." And not being aware that her cash flow was flowing in a particular direction. And that's
So
why,
Dennise, think about it. That was her mindset that was
yes,
impacting her there.
yes, absolutely. It was mindset.
Yeah,
And a
the
lot of us,
stress.
it's stress. And you know what happens? We're unconscious, we're unaware, we zone out, we just don't want to deal. So, as we take you on this journey, we want to support you so that you can deal, right? Now, the tool that you have a free 30-day access to gives you an opportunity to list all of your assets. So as you can see, the client has a house, they have a pension, they have investments, they have savings, they have furnishings, household electronics, they have a BMW. So they listed everything. And I can tell you, the exercise of listing her assets lifted her spirits. Okay? Because literally she was like, I just bought a new laptop, and I have some furniture, and I've got some antique furniture. And she was listing things that she knew she had, but she wasn't even aware of. So we really want, you to take 30 minutes to list your assets so that you can have clarity in where your cash has already flown. Yeah? Because cash flow is really
Has
about,
flown.
it has flown, right? It flies away. But your cash flow is really about you. It's a reflection of you. And this is where I'm going to hand over to Liz and really allow her to take us through this be, do, have framework. And we're going to tie it into why listing your assets is so important in the 30-day free access that you have. Again, my clients, once they start listing everything that they have, they realize over the years they have accumulated. Even have a client who's it became her biggest headache was, oh my goodness, do I really need to go to an art gallery and have all these paintings valued? And my answer was, yes, you do. You could be sitting on thousands and thousands of dollars of art. Yeah, that's your cash flow. So Liz, I'm handing over to you.
Yes, ma'am. So let's talk about the be, do, have framework. So, as Dennise was speaking and sharing that story about her client and all that money that flew away in KFC and fast food, we recognize that really and truly this had to do with what was happening in her mind, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so, really, that is who we are being. Who we are being starts with our thinking and our feeling. And often we are so busy focused on the actions and the doing and the behavior and the people and the environment that we forget that everything really starts with who we are being. So our thinking and our feeling. So, Dennise, could you put up that slide for me? There's a slide there with the be, do, have framework.
All right. Oh, sorry. Hold on, it's going the wrong way.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Okay. Hold
go
on.
back,
Oh
go
my
back.
goodness. It's going. Hold on. Let's go to here and let me find out what's happening. All right. So, yes, tell us about the be do framework while I look for the slide.
Right. So, as I said, most people are focused on, preparing, so planning, and then executing, and then reviewing, taking the feedback, and, going through the cycle all over again. And then we get a result of some sort. And often the result that we are getting is not satisfactory. And we wonder to
Right.
ourselves, why ever am I getting that outcome? And so what we say is that really what we need to do is to take a step back and to begin at the point of what is my mindset? Who am I being through my thinking and my feeling world, which is, of course, all internal, because that externalizes itself in our vision, in what we actually are doing, because we are driven by our values. And that those are the things that are important to us, and how we are leading. So some of you on this call are probably in charge of a business, a department, your own entrepreneurial venture. And how you are being and managing your leadership style is impacted by your mindset. So we say that you have to start there in order to impact how you are acting, because that's the way you're going to make considerable change. And on the basis of changing your thinking and your feeling, you will act differently and therefore have a different outcome and result. So the Be Do Have model is the starting point for everything that we do in mindset. So that's the first slide. The second that I wanted to really speak a bit about is neurolinguistic programming. And so what is NLP? So NLP is really a technology which teaches you, the strategies that your mind is using, and to help you to change those strategies as necessary in order to get a different result. So neuro stands for your neurological, all your neurological patterns, your thinking, and how those patterns affect our experience. You know that we take in information from the external world through our five senses, our visual sense, our auditory sense, our kinesthetic, our sense of taste, and our sense of smell. These are sort of like, the computer has its input channels, the mouse, maybe the CD drive, and so forth. So this is how we experience the world through our senses. And then we take in the information and we code it internally. And then we express that in our actual language and in the strategies that we use. So linguistics stands for our verbal and nonverbal communication. And of course, the very, very important self-talk, which is something that we're going to talk a bit about in this program. And then our programming. And our programming is really referring to the strategies that we are using to achieve our results. And whether those results are negative or positive, it's still our programming. And the great news is that NLP, through this body of work, is able to help us to recognize what our strategies are and to change them as required so that we can get different outcomes.
And can I say, let me jump in here, Liz. I mean, when you look from a financial coaching perspective, thinking patterns that affect experiences. So I have had, clients who have had such guilt by they have achieved
Mhm.
financially and their family members have not. Okay.
Yeah.
And that thinking pattern of I made it, others have not, and I need to pull them along with me, right? The experiences are so incredibly diverse. One client is drowning in debt because she's taken on so much for her family. Another client is, just driven to acquire more and more assets to
Mhm.
finance the lifestyle of her family. So she just acquires assets, willing to work overtime, willing
Mhm.
to jobs in order to, so she's not borrowing, but she does an 18, 20-hour day in the name of financial growth. So again, guilt is the thinking pattern, but the outcome is so different, the experience. Then in terms of linguistic and verbal and nonverbal, there are clients who absolutely grew up in which talking about money was considered a bad thing. This is, don't talk about it. It's just there. And so they have
Mhm.
no concept of how to navigate their own finances, because they just don't have the vocabulary or they are threatened by the vocabulary.
Mhm.
And then the programming, the strategies. For a lot of persons, the stock market is a great place. The stock prices are going up, great. Stock prices are going down, great. Others, it's the most threatening places. And so it is not part of their financial strategy. So again, I can see NLP, neurolinguistic programming, in so many different ways. All
Sure,
right.
absolutely.
Next.
Yes. So let's go on to the next slide, which really mentions just a few ways that NLP can support you in making wonderful changes internally. And the first is state management. So by state, we mean our mind, our emotions, and our behavior. And sometimes that's just not working for us. As you just mentioned, Dennise, there are times when we are so guilt ridden that we are driven to do things for the wrong reasons. And so that has an impact on the results we get and also how that makes us feel, and over time, even our very health. The other area is overcoming inner conflict and motivation challenges. Sometimes keeping ourselves highly motivated and driven towards our goals is a problem. Some people, as soon as they come upon an obstacle or two, their motivation wanes and their energy falls off and they don't want to keep going. Or sometimes we have inner conflict. One part of me wants to really earn a great deal of income, and there's another part of me that says, oh my God, money is really an evil thing, and I shouldn't have too much of it. And thirdly, developing powerful persuasive communication skills. Now, this is going to be so useful for people when you need to influence partners, influence clients, influence colleagues or reports to actually do things that are ethically correct and helpful to your business, for example. And finally, empowering ourselves by gaining clarity about goals and enabling actions. Goals are so important in ensuring that we get the results that we want. And how often are we taught from early on in our, youth that setting goals is important? Some of us go through life and don't set goals, or we are afraid to because we've had experiences that say, I've made a goal and I haven't been able to get it. And so I don't think I want to do this again. So NLP can support you in making those necessary changes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, we're talking about your cash flow.
Mhm.
As a business owner, as a professional, if we're in a space where things are not working for us, I believe this is one of the most critical tools. There are other great tools. And
Mhm.
I think NLP, though, in my humble opinion, is one of the great financial tools, unsung financial tools, because
Mhm.
strategy and outcome is so important. And that is what
Absolutely.
financial planning is about. All right.
Yeah. So the first principle that I want to share with you, which is absolutely key to making change for yourself, is this principle of I am cause to my effect. Now, you might say, what the heck does that mean? So let me break it down for you. Now, I can give you an example. It's probably the easiest way to explain it. So often, when we are faced with an experience, it's easy to blame external factors, whether those are, the weather, whether it's the transportation system, whether it's COVID or the market, something outside of ourselves for the situation we find ourselves in. And those are what we call reasons. Those are the reasons that we always give, AKA excuses. But on the other side of the equation is where we find cause. And cause is always greater than effect. So if we undertake to be on the cause side of the equation, what this is really saying is that I take full responsibility, 100% responsibility for all the results that I am getting in terms of my financial situation. So I'm not blaming other people. I'm not blaming my coach, Dennise. I'm not blaming the pandemic. I am taking 100% responsibility. Would you like to change the slide?
All right.
Yeah. So it's further on, I think.
All right. Yes.
That there we go. So cause and effect. So the question is, which side are you on? If I'm at cause, I have the opportunity to learn from whatever experience I am actually at this moment causing. Even if it's not exactly what I want, I can put on my hat. I put on the hat of being at cause, and I learn and grow from the experience. I see the gift in the experience, and I grow through it and because of it. Now, if I'm constantly pushing the blame outside of myself, I miss that wonderful opportunity and I give away my power. So the question is, which side of the equation are you really on? Who's sitting in your chair? Who is holding the steering wheel of your car? And if you are blaming other people and circumstances for where you are financially, then you are giving away your power. And I think that's a very important message to take on board. You need to take it back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I, again, work with a lot of persons who are not in the cash flow position they want. And part of it is not understanding. I mean, and it's across the board. All of us need to look deeply and use these tools to see the cause. We are the cause, but it's just so many decisions we make. And that's why coaches and having us right now, a tag team, and really open, the door to the money and the mindset is so very critical to get back in your chair. Don't let no one sit in
Yeah,
your chair. Get in your own chair.
absolutely.
Yes.
And I just want to say one other thing on that point, that often when we discuss cause and effect, people say to me, but Liz, I feel bad about it. I feel guilty. And so taking on the position of cause doesn't mean that we start to, beat up on ourselves and self-flagellate. No, that's not what this is about. This is really just about taking full responsibility and being accountable to ourselves. So I
Absolutely.
just wanted to point out that difference.
Yes.
The second principle that I want to share is clarity of vision and focus act like magnets. So I'm sure every single person on this call has heard about the law of attraction. And, we take it that, yes, we are energy beings. And so like attracts like, and
I,
therefore,
I'm trying to hide this. I'm not sure what happened. I'm trying to hide this. Oh my God. I'm all right. I'm blocking the user. Oh, forgive us. Thank you. I've just blocked. Oh my God. I don't
yes,
know what that was. Okay. Yes.
well,
But
that's
I was in
technology for
cause.
you.
Yeah, I was in cause. I blocked it quickly as I could.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the idea that we are energy beings really is a true one, and that we attract and magnetize things that are like us. So if we are resonating somewhere down in the pile of feeling sorry for ourselves, it's quite unlikely that we're going to really be wealth creators. But this is a little different. This is actually giving you an evidence-based procedure, if you like, or explanation for how we actually, through our vision, goals, and focus, can magnetize and bring into our experience the things that we really want. Next slide.
All right.
So we actually know more than we think. And I'm going to explain this in a little more detail further on. But the concept is that we, at any moment in time, are actually being bombarded by about 11 million bits per second of sensory data, of information that we are taking in through our five senses. 11 million bits per second. That's a lot of
Yes.
information, right?
Yes.
But on the other side, we see that the brain and the conscious mind is really only taking in 126 bits per second of information plus 7 plus or minus 2 chunks. So what the heck does that mean? There's a huge difference, as you can see, between 11 million bits per second and 126.
Yes.
So what happens? So we have processes internally that actually are deleting and generalizing and distorting information in order that we can, at a conscious level, cope with information. And some of that information is maybe not being processed consciously, but a lot of it is actually being absorbed at an unconscious level. So why is this important, Liz? So just change the slide for me.
All right.
Because we have an aspect of our brain which is called the reticular activation system. And this system is an actual part of our brain found at the top of the brain stem, just where our brain actually meets the brain stem. And it's called, in other words, our gatekeeper, and it becomes our radar, if you will. And the reticular activation system is activated when we have a particular focus or a goal. It goes in search of information that can help us to actually achieve that goal. So within our unconscious mind, we may have forgotten that we actually saw a financial report that showed all the stocks on Wall Street or on the Jamaica Stock Exchange or whichever stock exchange is yours,
Yes.
that in fact were performing well. Because consciously, maybe at the time, you weren't even interested in it.
Yes.
So now you have a goal. You have a goal for financial freedom. You have a goal to maybe make some critical investments. And all of a sudden, you begin to remember that you saw this report somewhere. And your reticular activating system can help you remember where you saw it, can help you remember that, hey, I saw that financial coach, Dennise Williams, the other day on a program, and maybe I should call her up to help me with my financial planning, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So our reticular activating system is really an important part of our biology. And few people are taught how important this is in helping us to achieve our goals.
Absolutely. Yes.
This particular model is developed by one of the forefathers of NLP called Robert Dilts. And he based it on a theory of learning by Gregory Bateson. And what this really says in simple terms, it's a model of influence. And it's a paradigm that suggests that at any level of these areas here, from visions or spirituality through to right at the bottom, our environment, at any level where we want to make change, it's important that we make that change at the level of the skills and knowledge. For example, if that's what we want to change, we want to learn financial skills, we have to begin there and not on the behavior, which may be that I am not investing. So maybe
Right.
first of all, I need to be able to teach myself or learn from a knowledgeable source about financial investment. And if I go further up on this hierarchy, if I'm going to make really lasting change, maybe I have to begin examining what's important to me. And if, in fact, cash flow and investments are in alignment with my values and beliefs. And if they aren't, then that's maybe where I need to make some significant changes. Let's go even further up. Maybe I have to look at my identity, who I think I am. Do I see myself as a successful business owner, or maybe a philanthropist? Who am I? Because perhaps that's going to be in conflict with what I want at the behavior level. So this shows us all the different levels that we need to pay attention to if we want to make significant changes in our lives. From the vision that we hold, which helps to drive our results, to our values and beliefs, or skills and knowledge, the behavior, that means what we're doing, and the environment, the context within which we are going to achieve this financial freedom. Who do I want to have that with? When will I have it? And where will I be? So
Absolutely.
these are some of the things that we need to be considering in our quest for financial freedom.
And I also want to say why NLP and mindset coaching. One of the challenges a lot of people have is that they seek one coach for everything. And I'll be honest with you, I appreciate the money saving aspect of it, but it may not necessarily be the right way, because you see, the thing with cash flow is that it has so many meanings for different people. There is the technical side of improving your cash flow. So, again, as a business owner, you could focus on more sales. As an investor, you could focus on choosing better stocks, better real estate, better bonds. Yeah. As a basketball coach, you could improve your technique and how to manage your teams, and all of that could lead to greater cash flow. But mindset, that's digging underneath what you see on the outside. So if you sell ice cream, for example, you can always improve the recipe and have greater flavor in the ice cream. And, that may drive sales. And on paper, you may have cash flow. But how do you sustain that if, for example, you're not aware of your values and beliefs, or the skills and knowledge of creating great ice cream is not the same skills and knowledge of growing the cash that you have and investing it wisely? Again, what's your behavior? For a lot of people, when money starts to flow in, their cash flow is flowing, they self sabotage. You know what I mean? They either explode their lifestyle expenses, or they do other things. They give till it literally hurts. I mean, there's so many things. So I want to encourage everyone to really consider that as you are growing your consciousness of your cash flow, I'd like you to also think about your consciousness and getting support for the same. So I just wanted to say that. All
Yeah,
right.
yes, truly. So values are an important part of that paradigm, as you saw. So values drive our behavior. And Zig Ziglar said a goal that is casually set and lightly taken is freely abandoned at the first obstacle, right? So if our goal is not in alignment with our values and beliefs, then it's unlikely that we are going to really achieve that goal. Or if we do, we're not really satisfied with it. So if you click again, maybe you will find, yes, thank you. So values are things that are important to us. They are how we decide whether our actions are right or wrong, good or bad. They act as a filter internally for us. So things that don't align with our values, we often disregard them completely. They are how we decide about how we feel about our actions. So, do we feel guilty about making a lot of money? Or are we comfortable in our own skin when we are, looking good with our profits? They guide our every decision and therefore our destiny. So they're pretty darn important.
Very much so. Very much so. And again, for persons who are feeling sensitive about the word cash flow, because that may even be part of their
Mhm.
ego or their self image. And the analysis of your values can help you to sort of untangle where we are. And let me give you an example. So I went through divorce, and in the child custody hearing, a lot of comments were made that, I loved my career more than I love my children. And that hurt me a lot. And I can tell you there was a direct correlation between how I was emotionally reacting in court, and my ability to secure new contracts. I literally stopped making money.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you
Because
go.
I, motherhood, my kids are everything for me. And for someone to say that that wasn't true and that I chose money over my kids, all of a sudden, no money's coming in, right? Because I'm going to
Yeah,
prove.
that's right. Because now you are in conflict with your values.
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah,
to prove to you that I'm a good mom by having no money.
that's right.
Hey, all
Wow.
right.
So, this is an exercise that our listeners can actually take on with a partner. And it's an exercise that's quite simple, and we're going to give you the instructions. You'll see them right there on the screen. And you're going to ask your partner, or have your partner ask you these questions. Now, I'm using the word prosperity. Dennise talks about cash flow, and I think cash flow is a part of being prosperous.
Yes.
But I use that word prosperity because it's broader, and it really takes into account, I think, the broader concept of being financially free, which is what I think basically all of us want, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you can substitute if you want to put money in here instead, but I use the word prosperity. So what does prosperity mean to you, Dennise?
Well, prosperity means choice. You know,
Right.
I have the freedom to do this or not.
Exactly. So, how will you know when you have it? Is there anything that you will see or hear or feel?
Okay, I know when I have prosperity, I know that my refrigerator is just, filled with food and my kids can go and get what they want. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel the most prosperous with a really, really full refrigerator.
Yeah. Okay. And so, what will that do for you?
Okay, so it means that I've made great financial decisions. It means that not only have I put, I'm taking care of my kids, I'm a great mom. It means that I have understanding of my cash flow. And understanding it gives me a great deal of comfort.
Ah, so it's understanding and it's comfort.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's important about, that comfort to you?
Well, comfort means that I'm comfortable in my skin, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel pressured. I feel like I'm in flow, so that each decision I make
Mm-hmm.
proves that I know what I'm doing. Yeah, so things work. I feel great, and I see the results of my efforts.
Okay. And so the results, what will that do for you?
The results will mean that I'm achieving. So I'm each
Okay.
year I can say, you know what, I did this, I did that. And it
Mm-hmm.
gives me a sense of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So let me just read back to you some of the values that I heard you say.
Yes,
You talked about choice and freedom. You
yes,
talked about, obviously, being a good mother is
yes,
also a good value. Finding comfort, being in flow,
yes,
and achieving and accomplishing.
yes,
Right. So those would be some of your key values then in
yes,
terms of prosperity. So
yes,
this is an exercise that will help to pull out from you the things that are truly important. And so the importance of this is that when you make your goals around financial freedom, you need to just make sure that they are speaking to these values. So there are no
right,
conflicts, right?
right, absolutely.
Okay,
That's
so
so
the next part of the exercise on the next slide is really when you have got, and I would say go through this exercise until you can maybe get at least seven or so, the minimum number, I would say about seven values, and as many as you wish. There is no upper limit really. And then to go through them and rank them in order of importance. So do the ranking from 1 to the final number that you have, and see what your top 3 to 5 values are in when you've done that list, because those top 3 to 5 are going to be the most critical ones.
They're going to be the most
So
critical
that's
ones. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And so this is something you can do really well with a partner.
yeah.
And, I love it. Absolutely. So you're going to say, Liz?
Yes, I was saying, I think my internet dipped a little bit there.
Yes.
So I was just saying that the top 3 to 5 are the ones that are most important.
Yes.
And if your goals are not speaking to those in some way, shape, or form, then you will likely either not feel very satisfied when you've achieved your goals, or you won't achieve them at all, because there will be a
Right.
part of you that's resisting.
Yes. 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 Absolutely. All right. So, my question to you, as we have gone through what I really consider a powerful, powerful exercise, we've got a lot of questions to ask. Here's some more questions, of course, is, the cost emotionally and energetically, because, we're offering, a free 30-day program that's going to help you to move forward, right? Is so important, because setting your financial freedom in 30 days by being organized is so critical. And, we have tools for the mindset, and it just comes together because the goal is for you to be your own cash flow hero. And, you laugh at that, right? Because it's a trend. We want to be our own hero. We don't want to wait on someone to save us. We really want to be in cause, right? And the hero is in cause, right? They come in. And you also have to ask, how important is it for you to change your current situation, right? So, income and impact is a part of this cash flow journey. And, we want you to get started in WizeFi, of course, right? So, you're going to sign up for free, participate in this group coaching at no cost during the promotional period. After the 30 days, it's just $8.99. It's like a cup of coffee. You can cancel anytime and walk through it. Now, remember the coaching aspect, where you really, really, really want to have that one-on-one engagement. Liz also has an awesome offer. So let me hand over to you, Liz.
Yeah, thank you, Dennise. So this offer is a program that I've been running for what I call Women on the Rise. So it's for professional women and entrepreneurs, and it's specially tailored to the needs of this target group. So a lot of women are feeling burnt out, they're feeling stressed, really confused, stuck, wanting more out of their lives, perhaps more balance and freedom. And this program is designed especially to help you do just that. And we have another intake happening in January 2023. We'd love for you to come on board with that. And here's an idea of what it entails. Really to help you develop your mental fitness muscles, create meaningful goals aligned with your values, develop focused, actionable steps forward, manage your internal saboteurs, and learn how to access the wisdom of your inner sage, amongst many other things. And this is how we're going to do it together. Next slide.
All right.
We will do it in 90-minute group coaching Zoom calls, 2 per month. And we also have guest presenters on the last Wednesday of each month. We have a learning management system with all the session replays and additional resource material. And of course, other bonuses, which you see there. And importantly, a 1-year access to Positive Intelligence mental fitness program and the mobile app, which is absolutely fabulous. So we really encourage you to come on board, and to get started, you can take the next step by moving into Ease and Flow and access another masterclass, which is free of cost. And you can register by clicking that link at bit.ly/create ease and flow. And we look forward to having you on board.
All right. So remember, your assignment for this module: create your WizeFi account, enroll in the Freedom course, complete day 1 to 7, discover your debt freedom date. And if you don't have any debt, fantastic, and your financial freedom date. Come back to this next module or the next module after this, ready to take out the next step to build your cash flow strategy. So we're taking a little break, and you'll see us in the next module. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Liz. We're going to keep
Yeah.
this
Thank you,
program
Dennise.
rolling, and you'll see us all in the next module. So, in a minute, bye. All right.